We're about to kick off with some Monday Night Football, but before we dig in, we had some big news from the NFL tank. Bigsby being traded to the Philadelphia Eagles. We're going to talk about the Jacksonville backfield. That got shaken up. We're going to talk about Bhayshul Tuten, whether or not you need him for fantasy football, the good, the bad, the ugly with his deep dive. LeQuint Allen's also going to be in there by proxy, so we're going to talk about him. But before we dig in, you need to click that subscribe button right now. We're doing deep dives every day on as many players as possible. If news hits, there's a deep dive. Someone gets hurt, there's a deep dive. Top waiver wire players, they get deep dives. On top of that, we're looking at the waiver wire every single day. We're helping you set your lineups with the must start series, rankings, and doing player battles. Click that button. Stop missing out. But Tank is gone. Tank is gone to the Eagles. And now he'll be a backup to Saquon Barkley. And now we're looking at a different backfield here for the Jacksonville Jaguars as we're looking at Bhayshul Tuten, who was a decorated prospect in this year's draft from Virginia Tech, who has a lot of upside. And what we saw from Sunday's game here, Tank Bigsby gets 5 carries, 12 yards. Bhayshul Tuten gets 3 carries for 11. LeQuint Allen got touches over him, but it was just a carry for 7 yards. We're going to talk about him too. I know you looked at the title and you're like, what about LeQuint Allen? There's LeQuint Allen in this. So looking at Bhayshul Tuten coming out of high school, 0-star prospect, nobody was after him. North Carolina A&T is where he had to start off his career. We get there, we blow up our second year, 1,300 yards, 13 touchdowns. We transferred to Virginia Tech. First year there, 875 yards, 10 touchdowns. The next year, 1,115 touchdowns. Getting work in the passing game each year. On top of that, yards after contact per attempt. Last year, 4.47. His final year at NCA&T, 4.35. He's also good in space. He's got speed to burn. He's good between the tackles. He's good everywhere. He fits this offense quite well. And you look at how dynamic he can be. Blowing up on Miami, Boston, Virginia, and that's just a couple years in the ACC. We have a 266-yard game, 141, multiple games of over 100 yards, but we run in the 4-3s. This is why everybody's excited about Bhayshul Tuten, because of that speed, that explosiveness, his production at Virginia Tech, what we saw on tape there, and he fits this system with Liam Coen. Liam Coen was formerly at Tampa Bay last year, and they had that split backfield, Rashad White, Bucky Irvin, a little bit of Sean Tucker sprinkled in there. And they like to use 2 back sets. There's a good chance he's going to stick with that. Bhayshul Tuten's got some upside in this offense. He likes running backs who can catch the ball out of the backfield. He rocked a 10.2% target share back at college. He has the speed to eat up space, get you big chunks of yards. That's what you're getting with Bhayshul Tuten. You look at this backfield, Tank Bigsby's gone, so that's going to open things up for Tuten, LeQuint Allen, and Travis Etienne ate last week, or yesterday, against the Panthers. Everybody eats against the Panthers, but these 2 young running backs are now going to get the opportunity to see more touches, especially if something happens to Travis Etienne, and they're going to be an opportunity to showcase what they got. On top of that, when you look at Bhayshul Tuten and you're like, hey, he waited so long to break out, this didn't happen. We dealt with some injuries. That's something to pay attention to when we're looking at Bhayshul Tuten. Back in 2024, we had a little ankle sprain, and we're looking at that, but we're good to go. Travis Etienne's a stud, and like I said, going into this year during your fantasy drafts, last year he was banged up. He had a slow start, but if we revert back to 2023 and 2022, you could have a huge season out of him, and you're catching him on the cheap, and he's not that much of a risk because he's still young. He's done it before at a high level, and there we are with Travis Etienne doing it on week 1 in Liam Coen's offense, and a plus matchup against the Carolina Panthers. I look for him to continue to get the work, catching balls out of the backfield, being explosive in space. I look for him to be good in fantasy, especially in those good matchups. LeQuint Allen, he was one of my favorite dart throw running backs in this year's class. He went to the Jaguars here, and he's going to be fighting for opportunities. And he's good between the tackles. He can catch balls out of the backfield, caught 64 last year. was very productive, back-to-back seasons of over 1,000 yards rushing. He's got good vision. He's very similar but a little bit different to Tank, but he's very reliable. This is a running back that could emerge later on down the line this season. He's very safe. He's very dependable. He gets more than what's blocked. He's got good vision. I liked him a lot coming out of Syracuse. He was one of those running backs I was watching hard on day 3. He went to Jacksonville. LeQuint, Allen, and Tuten would be a good combination together if something happened to Travis Etienne. We're not sleeping on him at all. I'm actually pretty high on him. Rocked almost a 15% target share in college, 30.5% dominator rating, so he owned a good share of the team's production in that offense. This is a very good running back prospect that didn't get a lot of clout coming out for the draft. It was a very deep, talented running back class. If he was in last year's class, considering his production, what he did on the field, considering some of his other metrics, a lot of you guys would be hearing his name more often because there wasn't near as many talented running backs in that class. LeQuint, Allen, he can scoot. And we're looking at the Jacksonville backfield back in 2024 and the Bucs because Liam Coen, their coach, was back with the Bucs last year. And you can see a split in the carries. The share of the rushing attempts, 43% to Bucky Irving, 32% to Rachaad White. Also, those two running backs got it good in the passing game. We could see that later on. Travis Etienne killed it on Sunday, but last year they did not get a 1,000-yard rusher. Travis Etienne was banged up. Tank Bigsby looked better than his rookie season. We don't have to worry about him as much, but there's still carries to be dispersed now in this offense. So either more to go to Travis Etienne. So when you look at this backfield, there's a lot of upside, a lot of pie to eat for these two young running backs, especially if something happens to Travis Etienne. So when you think about this for fantasy football, you're definitely going to want to get the handcuff to Travis Etienne just in case something happens. And you could also catch a 1B back that is fantasy relevant in this backfield. My guess would be Bhayshul Tuten with how explosive he is in the passing game with that 4.3 speed. That could be a big hammer for you in fantasy. Don't sleep on LeQuint Allen. But why you need him is the situation and talent. He's got 4.3 speed, productive out of college, can catch the ball out of the backfield. Something happens to Travis Etienne, you're going to want him. And you're probably going to want LeQuint Allen. And LeQuint Allen probably deserves his own video, because I'm a fan of him, and I kind of want to just talk about him. So he'll probably get his own video, and when I say a player's getting their own video, it's going to be very soon. There's some rookie risk here. It could be all Travis Etienne, and Travis Etienne may not go down, and Travis Etienne rocks all the touches. He has an all-star season, and he's back, and you barely see the rookies, and that could potentially happen. He might just trust Travis Etienne that much. But for them to make this move, they have to be looking at those two rookie running backs and be like, hey, we feel safe for that. We can rock with these rookies. We can roll with them if something happens to Travis Etienne. Both of them are very good prospects. I'll definitely say that. LeQuint Allen's very good in his own right. Both of them are very good in the receiving game. Both of them have upside in their game for fantasy football. I rank them Tuten, then Allen, and also Bhayshul Tuten has a lot of stock market appeal in Dynasty Fantasy Football, especially among the Dynasty Fantasy community, like on Twitter and other social media outlets, as a lot of people were smacking that Bhayshul Tuten drum earlier in the offseason, so you may see a spike in value. Both backs, definitely Tuten, here in the next few days. Let me know what you think in the comments below. I want to hear about that. Make sure you hit that subscribe button on the way out. One thing for watching. Catch you on the next video.